Hey everyone, it's Mario Time 1000 and welcome to F1 2017. This is the first F1 2017 video I'm doing on this channel, and today we're not going the usual route. We're not doing a career mode. We're heading into championship mode, and we're doing a sprint championship. Now, here's one that I did before, and, it sucked. So today, before I explain what a sprint championship is, we gotta pick our car. So at the time of recording this, I did a random number generator, 1 through 10, 1 being Mercedes, 10 being Sauber. And today, the number is 2. So we were going to drive for Ferrari, a top team. I was hoping for a bit of a midfield team, but, that's okay. I was hoping that it wouldn't be a top team because it would be a little bit easier to win. And you want to challenge, right? But today, it is a sprint mode championship. What is a sprint mode championship? Basically, it's a 6-race championship in which the first race, which is Japan, the grid is set by a random order, and so it's randomly set, the qualifying. And then every race, the next 5 races are set by reverse points. So if you're last in points, you'll start first. First in points, you start last. You can see quite obviously it's a random grid because we got a McLaren on the front row, something that we will not see in 2017. That's not a bold statement. We will not. Here's my teammate Sebastian Vettel. He's starting 15th. So yeah, you can see they didn't even put Alonso's number on the card thing, but Fernando Alonso's on the pole. Again, something we will not see. Here's the grid. I don't know if you can hear the commentating or the audio of the game. It's recorded, obviously. Recorded pretty low. I'm not really sure why. So Alonso and Magnussen are on the front row. And then this is all randomly set by the game. I don't know how it does this, but you could see both McLarens in the top 10. There's us. I don't know why it chooses your avatar. I wish it didn't. I wish I could just pick a driver to run in this. But yeah, it's a little bit unfortunate. You can see Pascal Wehrlein got chipped out by the random generator starting 19th, so there's no chance for his car to even finish close to the points. He'll probably finish last. But anyway, here we are on the grid for the Japanese Grand Prix. I don't want to call it a full Grand Prix because it's only 5 laps. Sprint races, I don't think I said it was a 5-lap race on the settings. But here we go. The lights are on. We're starting behind Van Dorn and Hamilton. And Verstappen is next to us. Here we go, lights out, and we are driving here in Japan. You can see Verstappen gets such a great run through. Heading in, we're going in on the outside. Let him go through, and they normally stop on this turn, so it's best to go through. I don't remember what AI difficulty I was running on this. Probably like 70 or something. And we can see we just jam into the back of Stroll. Something I should mention is damage is off. It is default off that way. I didn't change it. I didn't set it to be off. It is just off normally, which I think is pretty good because you only got 5 laps to make it through the field. But I like that. I like that. Obviously, though, you can just do that and not really get any damage. I saw a little piece of something fly off, but yeah, you could still get warnings for crashing, though, so that's odd. But if you do a huge dive, we get past Stroll, Hamilton, and door-to-door with Ericsson. It's a drag race, and obviously we're going to win against that car because it's got a year-old Ferrari engine, and we got the current one. But we're up to P7 on lap 1, and Valtteri Bottas, I said that so badly. I normally don't say F1 drivers' names. We got a track limits warning there. Not really sure why, as we're going to put it into Rich and try to catch Bottas here. He's got a Mercedes, though, so a straight line, we're not going to be at all comparable because we've got the Ferrari engine. He gets held up by Jolyon Palmer, and now we're right behind him heading to complete the first lap of this race. And we could, no, not quite. Daniel Ricciardo sits the fastest lap, so he's the leader. So to the surprise of no one, Alonso wasn't able to keep the lead. And, yeah, so when a slow car's up front, the AI struggle to pass cars, a little bit harder for them than it is for me. You can see right there, we just ran into the back of Bottas, and we've passed him, P6, on the inside of Palmer. And fighting with him, making quite a bit of contact here. Ricciardo sets the fastest lap again. This is lap 2, by the way, if you missed the jump. Door to door with him down the front stretch. The Ferrari engine's better than the Renault engine. We are coming into turn 1, and now the Mercedes is right behind us, and we jump in the front of Palmer. And we've spun out, and now we are fully around. And what a great way to start this championship. We're last. Now we're only ahead of the Renault. And the tires are crap. They're covered in crap and have no grip whatsoever. Here's a replay. And if you notice the little red indicator of telling me what Palmer is, I guess I couldn't see it when I glanced down there. And I thought I was clear for some reason, even though I looked in the back. It was a mistake on my part. Now we're playing the catch-up game. Pascal Wehrlein is way up the track right now. Well, he's not way up the track, but he's pretty far. There's no chance we're going to score any points today. And it's unfortunate for us. We're 12 seconds off our fastest lap. Almost 5.5 seconds behind Pascal Wehrlein. So, just got to see what we can do to catch him. You can see him just up ahead there, but he's nowhere near and cutting ahead now. This is coming into the final lap of the race. There was no sense in showing anything else that happened because nothing happened. We're now only 2.5 seconds behind the Sauber, but yeah, there's no making this up. And yeah, it's unfortunate because we were going good. We were up in P5 or something like that. You can see now we're right behind him, and he's got a McLaren and a Toro Rosso, both in front of him. There's a huge train of cars. If we could pass this whole train of cars, it'd be a miracle, but that's just impossible. I let off a little bit. Don't want to attack his car just yet, and sort of playing this strategically because there's no real reason to pass this car because it's only going to hurt us for the next race. It's going to start us further down the order, and we're already not scoring points, so we might as well get the worst position we possibly can. Bottas sets the fastest lap of the race. Daniel Ricciardo has won the race, and as we dive into the back of Wehrlein, and now he's just completely slowed us down, and now we're playing a little bit of a cheeky move. We're going to let Jolyon Palmer pass us, and we're going to come down, and we are going to finish last, but more importantly, secure pole position for the next race. So it's a little bit of a cheating maybe a little bit, but you know, if you're going to not score points, it's in this series at least, it's better to finish 20th than 11th. You can see Daniel Ricciardo as well as Bottas, and I didn't catch what the third car was, who finished on the podium. But yeah, what a terrible race. That was definitely my fault when I just cut off Palmer. Felipe Massa was the other car. He finished second. Definitely my fault, but we'll move on to the next race, which is in Brazil, and we'll go from there. But here's the podium celebration. Don't really need to show it, but I figured just show them all. It doesn't really matter. So here are the results. Ricciardo, Massa, Bottas, Magnussen, Hamilton, Perez, and Alonso finished 7th. So he's still got points in a McLaren, so that's something. Here is the driver standings. It says I'm 11th, which initially made me worried, but I don't really know how it decided this points thing besides the top 10. Our teammate actually was able to get 1 point, which he started 15th, so that's pretty good. Here's the constructor standings. Red Bull have the lead of that as of right now. And it's on to Brazil, in which here is the lineup for the race. And we were able to secure pole position, which I was a little worried we wouldn't. And but we have. And you can see this is just the reverse of the grid that they finished. I'm sure it's a little bit wrong. When I did a practice championship, it was a tiny bit wrong every once in a while. But it seems right for me. I don't really remember the standings, even though I just saw them like 5 seconds ago. But hopping onto the grid of this race, we have pole position, and we have a Renault and a Sauber behind us. I just hate when people say Sauber. That's why I say it sort of wrong, but whatever. Anyway, it's 5 red lights, and we are off for the Brazilian Grand Prix. And the Van Dorn's doing a he's trying to take him 3 wide, trying to get as much positions as he can early. But we've cleared everyone, and now it's time to set sail on this race. You can see we've already pulled away from Palmer, and he's gone now. Throw it into Rich Mixture, and that we're already almost a second ahead of him on lap 1. We've only gone through a couple turns, and there's just no chance. I think. Here's a replay of the start. This is the beginning of the lights countdown. I should have cut it all out, but whatever. Here's the replay of the start, and it was a good start by us. It wasn't amazing, but it definitely wasn't bad. We cleared them all. Palmer had a little bit of a look there, and he was quickly denied as we begin to pull away from him and Pascal Wehrlein. And it's gone. Coming around here to complete lap number 1. And we set the fastest lap, of course, because we were the pole sitter, and we led the first lap. And you always get the fastest lap when you lead the first lap. And this is something that's a little bit odd about, well, not odd about it, but you can't really measure someone's skill in this because I'm not that good at F1 games, but I'm just hauling. I'm going away. Set the fastest lap on lap 2. Danny Kvyat has taken 3rd place away from Wehrlein. But we're just gone, and that's because we've got some of the slowest cars behind us. And so you can't really measure skills because you'll always have those top Mercedes and Ferrari guys in the back and Renaults and stuff up front with the way the grid is. So don't take this as how good I am at F1 games because I'm not good at them. You see, we set the fastest lap again at the end of lap 3, and all of a sudden now, just like that, purple sectors again. So it looks like this is going to be just like that. We are heading into the final lap of the race, and we're just gone. 1:13.1. I put it into lean revs because I'm running out of fuel. So this lap will definitely not be the fastest lap ever. Definitely won't be a fastest lap, but we're 8 seconds up on Palmer, who's held 2nd place. And I think the Toro Rosso, well, it's debatable. I'm not going to get into which car is better because this is just a game, and it doesn't really matter which car is better because unless you have a supercar, you're not going to be able to go from 20th to the lead in just 5 laps with the way the field spreads out. But, I'm showing the final lap here because I didn't show a single full lap of this. It's a little bit of a dodgy lap, but it doesn't really matter because we're going to win this race unless we have a severe problem on the final lap. For those wondering, I am using the controller because I don't trust myself with the wheel on F1 games yet. On NASCAR games, it's one thing, but you just have to do so many quick movements, and I'm not exactly good on the wheel. I'm not really good with the controller either, but better with the controller than the wheel. But here we are, coming around the final corner. Do a little bit of I don't even remember what that's called, the pacing, whatever. We've won the Brazilian Grand Prix, and that's going to help us because we will take the points lead, or probably tied. I don't know where Daniel Ricciardo finished exactly, but there we are, winning the race, and that's pretty good because we had the first race in Japan, which was completely awful, and we finished last, and last to first. Kind of a different way to do a last to first challenge, but hey, I'll take it, whatever. Here is the podium. Those flags, you'll probably never see all 3 of them at one time. You'll probably never see these 3 teams on the podium at the same time, at least in the coming years. Ferrari, Renault, and Toro Rosso. Renault's got some work to do, but it's perfectly possible for them. I don't know about Toro Rosso. Their car's pretty bad this year. Yeah. That is it for Brazil, and that is it for episode 1 of the Sprint Mode Championship. Here's the top 10. No, Daniel Ricciardo did not finish in the points. A lot of German flags I can see there, though. Our teammate Sebastian Vettel was able to finish in the points, however, and that is quite good. So, I'd like to thank you guys for watching this video, and as always, subscribe or something, I don't care. And you can see we are now second in this championship, but tied for the lead, so that's pretty good. So, anyway, that's it for this video. Here's the constructor standings, which we has also taken the lead of. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the future. Thank you.